Hello friends, and welcome to jwreasoning.com. One of the things that I did appreciate about the organization was the Theocratic Ministry School. In fact, I was the Theocratic School overseer when we made the transition from the original Guidebook to the BE book that they use. I believe they still use that today. And I do appreciate the fact that it taught us how to speak properly, how to do certain things in conversations, how to get people's attention, how to keep their attention, repetition for emphasis, things like that, gestures, all of these kinds of things. And it does help us in our day-to-day life. It helps us with communication with other people. And that's a really good thing. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was repetition. And repetition for emphasis is one of the school points that was in the original guidebook. And here's what it says. It was study point number 26, use of repetition and gestures. But we're just going to talk about repetition. Here's what it says. Your purpose in talking should be to impart information that your audience will remember and be able to use. If they forget it, the benefit is lost. One of the principal means by which you can help them to fix in mind what you say is to repeat the points that are most important. It has fittingly been said that repetition is the mother of retention. Repetition is one of the essential teaching techniques. So I would like you to pay attention to how Brother Seth Hyatt, the helper to the service committee, uses this repetition in trying to help you to understand the point that he wants to get across. Now, before I show this, I want you to know that I did cut out everything in between so you could see how often he uses a particular phrase and just see what you think.
Are you paying attention? Pay special attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Jehovah is instructing his people to pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Paying attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Paying attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Paying attention. Pay close attention. Paying attention. Paying attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Paying attention. Paying attention. Paying attention. Paying attention. Pay attention. Paying attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Paying attention. May each of us be determined to pay attention. What a sobering reminder. We have many opportunities to listen to Jehovah, Jesus, the faithful and discreet slave. How grateful we are that Jehovah is providing ongoing, life-saving instruction by means of his word and organization.
Now, one thing you should know about this is that I did not duplicate any of those. They were all, that was just going through the video, just pulling out every time he said, pay attention, or use that phrase. Now, the interesting thing is he used that phrase 36 times in a 15-minute part, which means that about every 23 or 24 seconds, on average, he was using that word. It seems a little redundant. It seems as though they're trying to just drill people. And if you notice in a lot of their talks, this is what they're doing. They're doing it over and over. It's a form of indoctrination. You know, it reminds me of what Jesus said when he was talking about the vain repetition in prayers in the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew chapter 6. Here's what he says about the prayers in verse 7. When praying, do not say the same things over and over again as the people of the nations do, for they imagine they will get a hearing for their use of many words. And this is what I see. Now, of course, even in the prayers, if you pay attention to the prayers that are being said at a lot of the meetings, those of you who are still going to the meetings, listen to how often they say the same things. They're always praying for the faithful and discreet slave, for the governing body. And that's another thing. Did you notice in the clip that I played that he couldn't help but mention the faithful and discreet slave and the organization? Here it is again.
We have many opportunities to listen to Jehovah, Jesus, the faithful and discreet slave. How grateful we are that Jehovah is providing ongoing, life-saving instruction by means of his word and organization.
So this use of repetition, at least they're following the school guidebook, but really they're taking it to an extreme. Because what they're doing is they're indoctrinating our brothers and sisters. They're indoctrinating our family and friends. They have indoctrinated us, and they keep repeating these things because they feel like if they do, if you throw enough mud at the wall, it might not stick at first, but if you keep throwing it, eventually some's going to stick. And that's what they've done. They have created a community of robots, lockstep soldiers, bobbleheads, that once they start nodding their head, that's all they can do. They can't stop. So, friends, I'm just begging you to read your Bibles, use your thinking ability, think critically, look at these things. Remember, the organization is not the way to Jehovah God. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father but through him. Salvation is not through an organization. And I hope you continue to study, and may Jehovah bless you until we meet again.